I don't get all amped up on Friday nights, but Saturdays mean something. And so I hope today is going to be game day for you. It certainly feels that way for me. You know, last night, Michael Jordan, see, you all got me in that mode. Michael Jr. said, who do you serve? And the mission of my life comes directly from Deuteronomy 3:28. The Lord has told Moses that he's not going to lead the nation of Israel into the promised land. And he says, go commission Joshua, strengthen and encourage him. And so that's the mantle that God's put upon my life, to strengthen and encourage leaders like all of you. Because we all have a promised land. We all have a purpose. We all have a destiny. We all have a destination that God has called us to. So one of my fundamental beliefs is that nobody wants to be average. And I want to prove this to you. Years ago, I read a book called The Dream Manager. And I got all excited. I came home, I called a family meeting. Our son was in college, our daughter was in high school. My wife's here today. And I said, I want you to tell me all of your crazy dreams. My goal is to help make every one of your dreams come true. I'm going to be your dream manager. And my kids jumped all over it. My wife's a little more cynical, because I start things. I start diets, I start budgets, I start plans, and I don't always follow through. So my wife's got the arms folded, she's a little cynical. And I said, come on, baby, you're not writing down. Come on, I'm your dream manager. And she goes, okay, dream manager, I got one. I'm about to have a significant birthday. In fact, today is my wife's birthday. So this conversation was 6 years ago. She said, I want to go and see George Strait in concert. George, you know, I thought the cowboy rode away. And she goes, no. He's back in Vegas, and he does 4 weekends a year, and one of those weekends is over my birthday. So dream manager, get me to see George Strait in Las Vegas. Okay? Challenge accepted. I know a few people who know a few people. And so 6 years ago today, this picture was taken.
Wow.
Yeah. Not only did we get to the concert, but I get her to the meet and greet. Okay, so that's Rhonda and George, our good friends. Aggies, you would know Billy and Mary Kennedy. They're our very, very best friends. And so look at the look on my face, husbands. That's a happy man, right? Your wife told you, do this, and not only did you deliver, you exceeded expectations. So they took the picture. You know how these meet and greets go. You're not taking selfies. It's professionally done. They take the picture. They email it to you. And I go to bed that night a happy, happy man. The next morning, we're having breakfast. We're getting ready to fly home. And my daughter, who's in high school at the time, texts me and says, Dad, have you looked at Facebook this morning? To which I replied, I'm a grown man with a life. Why would I be on Facebook? And she said, well, Dad, I think you should. Now, I'm not a Facebook person. Rhonda is. We have a joint account because of our history in coaching and ministry, and we've moved around a good bit. So I have it on my phone. So as we're sitting there at brunch, I start to scroll through Facebook, and I'm really glad I did, because suddenly I saw this picture. And my wife making a comment, thank you, George, for making my birthday so memorable. It was a special night, thanks to you. And so I slide my phone across the table to my wife, and I said, you know, honey, I thought I was there. I was present for every moment. And but I don't remember that picture being taken. And my wife smiles and says, that's funny, because that's exactly how I remember last night. Nobody wants to be average, right? We all want to stand out. We all want to do significant things. And so, you know, you look at that, and here's Rhonda, successful business leader, has helped raise 2 incredible children, beloved in our community, beloved in our church, and yet when she had a chance to be just a little bit different, just a little bit above the norm. She took it. Nobody wants to be average. But here's what I've learned is that on the way to not being average, we can get stuck or we can get scared. And that's why the Lord told Moses to commission Joshua, and he says, strengthen him, help him get unstuck, and encourage him, help him to not be scared. So what I'd like to do in our time this morning is this keynote I call 5,000 words. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so I've got 5 pictures. Each picture tells a story. And with each picture, there's going to be a leadership principle that I want you to understand. And then there's going to be what I call a tweet or a tattoo, something that I want you to remember. So the tweets or the tattoos, they're so good that you definitely need to tweet them out, and you might want to think about a tattoo. Y'all ready? Okay, 5,000 words. So here's the first one. One of my goals every day is to express my love for my wife by demonstrating 2 of the 5 love languages every single day. Now, they could be different ones, right? We all know time, touch, words, gifts, acts of service. So every day I try to do at least 2 of those to let my wife know that I'm more in love with her today than the day we met, that I'm thinking about her, and that she matters most to me. So I travel a good bit. We're empty nesters now, so I'm on the road about 50% of the time. And just recently, this was maybe a month ago, I worked in my office all day at home, and I needed to head out to Houston to get to the airport, and I realized I was still down one. I hadn't done 2 love languages that day. So I type up 10 I love yous, or type it on a Word document, print out 10 copies, and I'm frantically running around the house, putting them in places right where she'll see them. So in her makeup drawer, in her vanity, in the bathroom, on her treadmill, on her desk. I didn't put one in the oven because she'd never find it there. But so I'm hustling around, dropping all these notes off, and I think, well, I'll just throw one in the dryer. Right on my way out the garage, I had 1 left, jumped in my truck, headed to the airport. And that night, I get this picture. And sweet note from my wife that said, you know, some amazing man left me this note in the dryer. And I said, oh, honey, that man must love you very much. And she said, well, you know, if he really loved me, he probably would have folded the sheets that were in that dryer. I said, babe, I was in words, not acts of service. You got to give me some credit here. But the leadership principle here is simply this. Leadership or influence is about behavior. It's ultimately our behaviors that influence others and drive outcomes. Words are good, but words without actions, like faith without actions, are dead. And so what I want you to understand is this. There are a lot of people that want to be judged for their intentions and not their actions. But if you're going to lead, if you're going to build credibility and influence with other people, ultimately it's your actions that are going to make a difference.